Hi guys, welcome to GTC English 1101. So this is going to be a brief meeting. This is our welcome meeting. Welcome to English 1101. Today, guys, we're just going to talk about what this class is about, what are the expectations, and how to find or rather navigate the Blackboard homepage, okay? All right, so I'm sharing my screen with you. My name is Professor James-Griffin. My real name is L. Renee James-Griffin. You can refer to me as Professor James-Griffin. Okay. And so this is how we're going to, throughout the semester, we'll be using or utilizing the Gwinnett Tech Blackboard homepage for all assignments. You will review assignments, you will upload assignments. Anytime we have anything that we need to do, you will do it all through the Blackboard homepage. The only thing that you will not do through the Blackboard homepage is I'm currently using Zoom to do the announcements, or rather to do the video recordings. And so we'll use Zoom in that regard. But other than that, you will log on from week to week to the Gwinnett Tech Blackboard.com site. You will find your assignments, you will find the due dates, and you will actually complete your assignments on this site. Okay. All right. So typically speaking, we will have weekly live sessions. The sessions are optional, meaning that you don't have to come, but you are always encouraged to attend them. When we are talking about something that is required or something that I feel like everyone needs to know, I will record the sessions and then post those replays on the announcement page. Okay. All right, so typically speaking, our live sessions will be on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. If there is a week where I have something going on or we need to change or alter the schedule, I will let you know hopefully a day ahead so that we can change the date that we will have the live session. Okay, so this afternoon, guys, we're going to talk about the Blackboard homepage, how to access all of the information. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the Blackboard homepage. So when you log on to Gwinnett Tech Blackboard, you're going to see something that looks like this. So if you're taking more than one course, then you will see 2 or 3 of your courses already listed, and then you just have to click on the course that you want to enter. So for this case, it's going to be English 1101. Okay. Once you enter the course, you're going to see a setup like this. You're going to have the black menu, which is basically on the left-hand side. You'll be able to access the homepage, the announcements, the start here, the textbook, the lessons, your grades, etc. on the left-hand side. In the middle, the very first thing that you're going to see typically are the announcements. If you don't see the announcements, all you have to do is click on the announcement page. Okay, so let's go through the different things that are here. Okay, so when you click the home page of Blackboard, it just kind of shows you the courses that are available, or if there's any announcements or assignments, any discussion boards, etc. On this home page too, it'll tell you if there are assignments that are that have been graded. So you're seeing the teacher's view of this at the moment. Okay, so let's look at the student view of this. Okay. So when I click on the homepage as a student view, then what you're going to see if there's any upcoming announcements that you need to be aware of. So these first 3 are the ones that have already been posted. What's my to-do list for this week? It kind of lists those. We'll get back to the to-do list because my concern is I want to make sure that you're not just looking at this to-do list, because sometimes depending on how the assignment has been created, the Blackboard system may not recognize it, okay? Okay, so let's go to the announcements. So when you click on the announcements, you will see anything that I've posted. Typically, I post 2 or 3 times a week, so students should log on and post. While this is an online class, that means there's no set time for you to log on for this class. However, you have set due dates and assignments that must be done by a certain date and by a certain time. And you want to make sure that you give yourself time to do that. Because GTC do not allow late assignments. Okay, so if an assignment is due tonight, but you don't log in until tomorrow, you've essentially missed that assignment and you can't go back to it. So that's important, okay? All right, so we're on the announcement page, and you'll notice on the top of my screen, I'm utilizing the student preview because I want you to see, I want to see what you guys see when you log on, okay? Okay, so here are the announcements so far. So the very first announcement that was posted is to kind of welcome you to English 1101, making sure that you understand that late work, that's a GTC policy across the board. Late work is not allowed. So you need to make sure that you complete all of your assignments by the due date and time, okay? In addition, we do something called a no-show. There's a no-show policy. And so what that is, it helps us weed out the students that are not attending in that first week. And if you haven't attended in that first week, then one of the ways we know that is you have to complete the discussion board assignment and the welcome quiz by Friday by noon. Okay. And so depending on the semester, this might vary, but this time around, this has to be done. The welcome quiz has to be completed by noon on Friday. If it's not completed, then students are dropped as a no-show from the class. Okay, so that's the first announcement that you see. The second one, there is a policy. GTC has a policy for AI. We understand that artificial intelligence is out there. It's not going away. There are some positive ways to use it, and then there are some negative ways to use it. And so as a GTC faculty member, we want you to understand that the good ways to use AI is if you're using it to brainstorm topic ideals, if you're using it to help you kind of outline your thoughts and your ideals. But one of the negative ways is if you expect or choose to allow AI to write your papers, to create your assignments for you. And then that means then we're in a whole nother level because now it's not assisting you in your work, it's essentially doing the work for you. And that's the negative side of using AI. And so our policy is any work that is not your original thoughts and ideals can be tagged, okay? AI is considered an unauthorized aid as described by Gwinnett Technical College. And so if we discover that you have used AI, then there are one of multitude of things that can happen. You can be dropped from the course, you can automatically get a 0. You can also at some point even be dropped from GTC. So what I encourage students to do is to do your own work. Okay, err on the side of caution. While we understand that sometimes you get caught up and things happen, we want your original thoughts and ideals because that's more important than anything that AI could ever come up with. Okay. Okay, so the next letter is we have an additional welcome letter. This one is from me. The first one that you saw was from GTC. That's why it says welcome to English 1101. This was an announcement posted by GTC, and you can kind of see that. This is my director. She posted this one. And in this one, you can see that it was posted by me, which is Lisa James-Griffin. This is posted by me. This welcome letter basically says, welcome to the online class. And then it gives you a little bit of information about how to address me as Professor James-Griffin, and then how to access the information and when things need to be done, okay? Every week, I will post an agenda, and it kind of looks like this. There may be different colors, but for instance, this is the first week of school. I will give you typically a 5 to 6 step agenda so that you know what you should be working on during that week. This first week, your goal is to read all the announcements, to review the items in the Start Here folder, complete the welcome quiz, complete the discussion board assignment, and then attend the optional live sessions during that week, okay? So every week on Sunday, I will post an agenda so you know what you should be working on for that week, okay? And then like today, I posted that today was our live session. And like I said before, our live sessions will be every Wednesday around 4 p.m. I try to keep those under 30 minutes. I will do like a mini lesson so that you will know how to navigate things, how to explore things. I will go over the agenda and answer any questions that you may have. Okay, so that's the announcement page. So one of the things that were on the agenda, it said read all the announcements. We just did that. Now, step 2 said you have to review the items in the Start Here folder. Where is the Start Here folder? If you look on the left-hand side, this is the menu in black. Okay. And then you'll see where it says the Start Here folder. You got the home page, the announcement. So we've just taken care of the home page and the announcement. Now, click on the Start Here folder. You're going to navigate this folder. You're going to click on the syllabus. You're going to read the information. It's going to give you the GTC policy so that you are aware of the do's and the don'ts. In this class, we use MLA style. So this is a great tool to download, to use, so that you'll know how to format your essays, how the outlines should be formatted as well. Okay, we have an MLA workshop that's created by the library that will give you more information. There's free library help. You can click on these. Any of these you can click on to get more information. So when you click on it, it's either going to populate on the screen within Blackboard, or it's going to take you outside of Blackboard into another screen. Okay. Okay. So now that we're going through the Start Here folder, the next thing that you're going to see is as you're working through all of these different items, here's the welcome quiz. The welcome quiz, like I said, is about 3 to 4 questions, but this is how we weed out those that did not attend this week. This assignment, as well as this discussion board introduction, must be completed by noon on Friday. Because after that, we will go through and we'll start dropping kids that did not complete that assignment, because that shows us that they have not logged on for the week. Okay. And it's more than just logging on every week. It's you logging on and completing actionable steps, completing the assignments. So, and that's how we take basically attendance to know that you're here and that you're active on the platform for this week. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the discussion board, okay? You will have a couple discussion board assignments throughout the semester. This is just the first one. For any of the discussion board assignments, you're going to click on the name. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to go back into it so you guys can see that. So here's the name, discussion board introduction. There are some guidelines, some instructions. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to create a thread. You're going to tell me your name, your major, your hobby, the steps to do it. It tells you you're going to click on the name, which is this one up here. So let's do that first. You're going to click on the name. Okay. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that you don't see anybody else's content. You're not going to see your peers' content, because this is a post-first discussion forum. All of the forums are set up this way. And basically what this means is that before you can see your peers' posts or even my post, you have to first post. Okay. And what this does, it eliminates people from, say, like they forgot that they have to post or be a part of the discussion, and then they rush in and they think they're going to scan through what everyone else has said and then just regurgitate that. This doesn't allow you to do that. You have to have your own thoughts and ideals first before you can see someone else's. Okay. So to create a post, you're going to click on create a thread. When you create a thread, you're following these steps. So for this discussion post, it's asking you to tell me your name, tell me your major, any fun hobbies or fun fact about yourself. So you're going to click on this thread. You're going to give it a name, and you can just say introduction or any other name that you choose. You can even call it first post and that's perfectly fine. And then in this box, this is where you're going to tell me about yourself. You're going to tell me your name. You're going to tell me what your major is, maybe a fun hobby. Are you married? Do you have children? Are you a dual enrollment student? Whatever the case may be, once you are done, then you're going to click submit. Now, here's where it gets pretty cool. Once you've clicked submit, now the system is going to populate, and now you'll be able to see what other people have posted. But you won't be able to see that until after you have clicked submit. Okay? So that's the discussion board forum. Okay. So let's go ahead and get out of that. Okay. So once you've completed the welcome quiz and the discussion board forum, if you scroll down a little bit more, it's meet the instructor. What I like to tell students is that you want to know who's the person that's giving you the advice, that's teaching you in the front of the room. In this case, you want to know the person that's going to guide you through the class. In this case, that's me. I'm Professor James-Griffin. I give you some fun facts about myself, some fun things that you may not know about me. I tell you who I am in my professional life. I outline the degrees that I have. And then at the very top on the right-hand side, I tell you what you're going to do in this semester. Okay, so that upfront, you already know what to expect, the teacher that you're going to have. And if you have questions, feel free to always contact me. Right here, I give you that my email is ljames.griffin@gwinnettech.edu. The best way to contact me is through email. Okay, so that's everything that's in the Start Here folder. So if I go back to the announcement page, and I'm looking at the agenda, we read the announcements, we look at the Start Here folder, you're gonna complete the quiz, you complete a discussion board. Now we're on the live session that's this week. I've done everything that's needed. I'm good to go for the week, okay? And that's kind of the steps that we want you to take every week. You will log on, the agendas will post on Sunday nights, so that first thing Monday morning, you are able to see them, and you can use these as a checklist to make sure that you complete the assignments that are needed for that week. Okay. All right, so let's look at some other things that are going on this platform. Okay, so I'm gonna skip the textbook for right now. We're gonna go to the lessons page. Okay. The first thing that you're going to see on the lessons page is the printable calendar. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying on the home page, is that sometimes the home page is going to give you a to-do list, but depending on how that assignment was set up, it may not tell you that you have a discussion board that's due on 2 different days because of how it's set up. So to alleviate that, I don't use the internal calendar on Blackboard. The only calendar that I use is the printable calendar, okay? And it's the only calendar that you should use for this course. The reason being is because it's a document, and it's going to list everything that you need to know. I don't know about you, I wear many hats in my life, in my professional and personal life. And because of that, I need to be able to juggle the things that are happening. And if I have to juggle the things that are going on, I need to know what I have to do from month to month, from week to week, and so forth. So since I feel that way, then I also give that to you. So this printable calendar is going to list everything. I like to tell students that this is your Bible for the class, okay? The first thing that I would encourage you to do is when you click on it, it's going to open up on Blackboard. I encourage you to click on this because then you can download it. Okay, so now it's in a bigger screen for you, and then you can download this printable Bible, this printable calendar, and put it in your calendar, your phone, or your whatever calendar that you use, so that you know when the assignments are due. Okay, so the calendar is going to list when class started, when the no-shows have to be completed, which is this Friday. It'll tell you of any holidays that are upcoming, and it tells you when the last day of class. For this one, the last day of class, you can see for that semester is April 27th, 2024. Okay. So let's break down this calendar though. The calendar is broken up or broken into sections, unit 1, unit 2, lesson 1, lesson 2. So for this week, these are all the things that you have to complete. You had to sign into the course, you had to read the announcements, you had to click on the Start Here folder, you have to review the items in the Start Here folder, you got to complete the quiz, complete discussion board introduction, and print the printable calendar. Those are your tasks for this first week. Okay. Say like you've already completed all of this and you want to know, well, what comes next? What else will I be doing this semester? Easy. This calendar will list everything. I hold nothing back. You can have an idea of everything that you're going to have to complete from this calendar. Okay. So you know the activities that you're going to have to complete for lesson 1. Then I list them for lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, and lesson 6. From this calendar alone, you know that there are going to be 6 lessons that you're going to have to navigate through. Okay. So let's look at the next week. Okay. So lesson 1, which is next week, January 14th through the 22nd, on the right-hand side, these are the assignments. You'll have to do the English intro surveys. You're going to have to read chapters 1 through 4. And then these are the assignments that you're going to have to, or the activities that you're going to have to complete. On the right-hand side, you'll see the due date. I tell you whether it's a Monday or a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Friday, and then I give you the actual due date. And you'll have that for the for all of the lessons. Okay. So again, the only calendar that you should be using will be the printable calendar. If at any time a date needs to change because maybe we need more time or maybe we need to speed things up, then I will post an announcement about that. Okay. So that was the top of the lesson page. So the printable calendar, that's what we were just in. And then to find those actual lessons, you'll just go to the lessons page. Lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, lesson 6. You'll notice that all of these correspond with the information that's on the printable calendar. To access the folders, you'll just click on the name. Each folder is set up or designed in a similar fashion. This one, when you first log into it, because this is for next week, it'll start with the module goal and activities. It'll tell you what the objective is, what activity you have to complete. In this case, you will read chapters 1 through 4, and then whatever assessments that you have to complete. Okay. So when you look at the folder, if there's a folder icon, that means when you click on that name, you're going to find other items that you can review in that folder. Okay. The assignments are always at the bottom of the folder. They're either going to be in blue or black. And so to access those assignments, you will click on the name. And then one thing I kind of want to mention, if it's an assignment, you can kind of see the icon that's on the left-hand side. It'll look like a document or a page so that you know that that's an assignment that needs to be completed. You can see that this image is completely different from the module goals image so that you understand that this is a writing assignment that you have to complete. Okay, so to access the assignment, you will click on the name. When you go into it, that's the Dropbox, okay? To access the information in the Dropbox, to access any documents that are attached, they will be in blue. That means that that's a link. You'll click on it. It's going to go to your download folder. And I don't know if you saw it when it went right over here. I will be able to pull that up and download it to my desktop, type on it, complete it, and then upload it as a Word document. Okay. Okay. As you can see, I have a couple of things up. That usually happens when, so I'm going to get out of this for just a second because I have way too many things up. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for just a second, and then I'll reshare once I've gotten back to where I need to be. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. Let me get back to the screen. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we're back into the Dropbox like we were before. So when you log into or click on the Dropbox, it'll have, if there are documents that you need to download or preview, then they will be in blue. When you hover over them, they'll be aligned and usually like a light blue color. On the right-hand side, it'll tell you the due date. Assignments for this class, all the assignments are due by 11:59 p.m., but I encourage students to always upload your assignments anywhere from 1 to 2 days earlier and long before the due date. Because remember, the #1 policy for GTC is that you cannot submit work late. So if you can't submit the assignment late, then you have to upload the assignment in enough time so that it doesn't become late. So if you start uploading, say like this assignment is due tonight, and I start uploading this assignment at 11:55. I started at 11:55, but maybe it doesn't actually finish uploading until midnight. That assignment is late and I'm going to earn a 0. Why? Because as your instructor, it doesn't show me that you started before the due date. It only shows me the time that the assignment was actually submitted. So I can't take your word for it. Your assignments have to be uploaded in a timely fashion before the due date. In addition, you want to give yourself enough time that if there's an issue, so if there's an issue with me uploading, say like I upload, this assignment is due on January 22nd, right? So I go ahead and I complete the assignment now. That gives me a lot of time to figure out any issues that may happen. So say like I complete the assignment today, I try to upload it, but the system crashes. Now I can email my teacher and say, hey, I tried to upload this assignment, it didn't work, can you help me? The teacher now has time to figure out that problem, help me figure out how to upload the assignment and still make the deadline. But if you wait till, say, 5 minutes or even an hour before the assignment is due and you have an issue, that's not enough time to resolve that issue, and it's now going to be considered late, and you won't be able to turn that assignment in. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Okay, so on the right-hand side, like I said, it'll give you the due dates. It'll tell you the potential points. To upload your assignment, once you've completed it, all you have to do is click the upload folder where it says upload files. You're going to browse your files. You'll click whatever file you want to pull from. You'll click upload, and you'll see that the assignment down below has now been uploaded. And then all I have to do now is submit the assignment, and you'll have a submit button. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky for students too. What I encourage students to do is, even after you have submitted your assignment, I encourage you to log out of the system, wait 5 minutes, go back in and make sure that that assignment has actually submitted by the due date. There have been times where students thought the assignment submitted, it did not. They go back in, they've been given a 0 for the assignment, and they don't know what happened. So again, being in an online class, the onus is on you. It is your responsibility to make sure that you are uploading the assignments, that you are completing the assignments, and that they are submitting properly. So you want to give yourself enough time to do that. Okay? All right, so at this point, I've showed you the lesson page. I showed you that there's the principal calendar. That's the first thing that you should download and make sure that you are aware of when the assignments are. In addition to that, all of the assignments are open. You should be working through them in the order that you get to them because things are due at certain times, okay? While it's okay for you to go ahead and work ahead, but we won't actually get to them until it's time. So like this week, you guys are only doing the welcome quiz and the discussion board. Next week, you will start on lesson 1, the writing quiz. As you get to the assignments, you want to work through them so that one, that you are catching the deadlines, that you're not missing any of the deadlines. And then from week to week, I'm going to be doing mini lessons to make sure that you understand what you need to do for each of those lessons, okay? So as you can see, there are several different, there are 6 lessons that you will work through. So now we've talked about the home page, we've talked about the announcements, the Start Here folder, and the lessons. The only thing that I have not discussed at this point is the textbook. When you signed up for this class, it is my understanding that you also paid for your GTC textbook. You need to get your GTC textbook from the GTC bookstore. There are 2 branches. One is in Lawrenceville, and then one is in, if I'm not mistaken, in Alpharetta. But you have to get your book from there. I believe you can order it if you can't go and have it delivered to you. The reason you have to have the GTC textbook is because once you open the book, there's going to be an access code. That access code is something that you're going to have to plug in to gain access to the e-text. And you might be thinking, why do I need the e-text if I have the hard copy of the book? That's a fair question. You have to have access to the e-text because there are going to be assignments in the e-text that you will not have access to in the printed copy of your book. Okay, so that's why. Now, so on the left-hand side, guys, like I said, homepage announcements, the textbook. Ordinarily, all you'll have to do when you have to read a chapter, for instance, next week, you have to read chapters 1 through 4. To gain access to those chapters, what you'll do is you will click on the e-text. This is called the textbook here. Normally, when you click on the textbook, you'll click on it again. It's going to take you to Achieve. And then you'll be able to access chapters 1 through 4. However, we were just informed right before school started that the ebook is not connecting to Achieve. And so we are meeting with admin tomorrow to kind of get that fixed so that it'll be ready in time for you guys to start reading the chapters next week. And so we do apologize for that, okay? All right, so I'm going to go to the lessons one more time because there's a couple things that I want to point out when you're using the e-text, okay? Okay. So starting next week, what I mentioned before is that there are going to be a couple of assignments that are only found in the e-text. And so I want to highlight what those assignments are. So next week, one of those assignments is called the English Intro Survey. Okay, it's going to be due on Wednesday, on the 17th, and the only way that you can complete that assignment is to go through the e-text that is on this side. And what you'll do is you'll click on the textbook once it's up and running, and then this time when you click on it, you'll be able to access that assignment, okay? You can only complete it on through the e-text. That's the reason. Another assignment that involves you going through the e-text is lesson 2. So the following week after lesson 1, you're going to have to complete something called the editing and proofreading assignments. Now, you do have to read the chapters. That is absolutely true. But if you have the hard copy of the book, you can read those chapters without having to log on. Okay? But after you've read the chapters for week 2, or rather say lesson 2, you're going to have to complete these assignments. These assignments are only found in the e-text. It's going to require you to do a pretest to see where you are grammar-wise, sentence grammar-wise, and punctuation and style mechanics-wise. And then it's going to give you a study plan. And then once you've done that study plan, then it will give you a final test. And it's that test, that score, that will be recorded on Blackboard, okay? Okay, so that's the following week. Are there other assignments that will be found in the e-text that you won't be able to find in other places? There's two more assignments that you will have to basically do. So in addition to reading the chapters, a lot of the chapters will have quizzes, but if the only assigned quizzes that will be in the e-text will be that English intro survey that I just showed you. Then the study plans, the pre-test, the study plan, the final test. Okay. And then during the week that you're doing your compare and contrast essay, there is another checkpoint survey. It's called the first checkpoint survey, and it's asking you how well you feel like you've done with the illustration essay. And then during that final week, during that final lesson, you'll have the second checkpoint survey, which will ask you, how do you feel about now that you've done the second essay in the class? So those are the ones where you have to do them through the e-text. That's why it's important that you buy the book from GTC. It has to be this semester's. You can't use, per se, I don't know, that perhaps maybe you took this course 2 years ago and you still have that access code. That access code may not work for this course because this is a brand new course, okay? So you have to have the current access code to get access to the e-text, okay? And I know that this is a lot of information and I totally understand that, which is why I always encourage students, if you have additional questions or additional concerns, please let me know. Like I said, from week to week, I will highlight what you need to know. If there's additional information that you need to know, I will also explain that as well. Okay. So at this point, we've gone over the homepage, the announcements, the work that you have to do in the Start Here folder. We've gone over the lessons, making sure that you understand that the only principal calendar that we use is the one that's on the lessons page. And I've now gone over the textbook. Okay, and so you'll buy the textbook from the GTC bookstore, and that will grant you access or give you the access code that's needed so that you can go ahead and sign up for the e-text. Okay, like I said, I will be meeting with admin tomorrow about making sure that the e-text is up and running. Once I have met with them, I will post an announcement to make sure that you guys have access. Okay. All right, so we've been on this call for a few minutes now. One of the things I just want to make sure as we wrap up is making sure that you guys are signing on weekly, that you are looking at the announcements every week. Like I said, I will post 2 or 3 times a week. On Sunday nights, I will definitely post the agenda for the week, and it'll have anywhere from 5 to 6 actionable steps letting you know what you will need to do. This is what one of the agendas look like. They may be in different colors, but this is typically the format that I use, okay? And so it'll tell you what you need to do for that week, and you want to make sure that you are here and complete all of the things for that week. More importantly, all assignments have due dates, specified due dates and times, and you have to meet those. No assignment can be turned in late. In addition, make sure that all work is your original thoughts and ideals. AI is prohibited at this point in time, okay? With that being said, guys, I am glad to have you aboard. I know that we are going to have a great semester. If at any time you have questions or you feel like you just need additional help, the best way to contact me is ljames-griffin@gwinnettech.edu. A lot of you'll soon discover that I am a night owl, and because I am juggling so many hats throughout the day, I tend to be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I will log on to see how things are doing, and even grading. So don't hesitate to email me at odd hours. I will definitely respond and to get your questions answered. There are no dumb questions. I always tell students it's better to ask to know what's needed than to not know and be confused, okay? And we don't want that. So like I said before, welcome to English 1101. I look forward to a great year, and don't hesitate to ask questions, guys. Welcome aboard. And I hope that you have a great day.